prior to the season and through the first 13 games, things looked hopeless for the New Orleans Pelicans. The offseason was filled with rumors of Zion being unhappy with the organization, and matters were made 10 times worse when it was discovered out of the blue that Zion wasn't able to start the season due to injury. All looked hopeless for the Pelicans as well, as they started the season 1-12, had a 9-game losing streak, had the worst offense and defense in the league in that stretch, and were 1-6 at home in that stretch. But over the last 62 games, the Pelicans went 33-29, eventually made the NBA play-in tournament, and made the NBA playoffs in improbable fashion. Here's how the New Orleans Pelicans became only the 4th team in NBA history to make the playoffs despite starting the season at 1-12. But before we get into that, be sure to leave a like on the video to support the channel and sub for more content like this. Resilience is something that Coach Willie Green wanted to be embodied by his young Pelicans team since day one. I mean, indefinitely losing your franchise player is one thing, but Brandon Ingram missing games due to injury could only shoot down the morale of the team. But after having just a 3-16 start prior to Thanksgiving, the Pelicans started to get into a groove of things once Ingram returned, winning 10 of its last 16 games and catapulting near the 10th seed. At the trade deadline, the acquisition of McCollum obviously helped to provide an offensive scoring punch and a leadership role for the team as well. But probably the main catalyst for the Pelicans' turnaround was their defense. Since the All-Star break, the Pelicans had the 9th best defense in the league, forced the most turnovers in the league, were 10th in opponents' points in the paint, and were 7th in opponents' points off of turnovers. Getting a young team to buy in on defense is a tough task, and any resulting success of that is definitely a collaborative effort. However, we definitely need to highlight what Herb Jones has done this season as an effective on-ball and off-ball defender. He's only one of 4 players this season to have at least 90 steals and 50 blocks, with him having 15 more steals than the next guy in that category. Also, he's the 4th Pelican in franchise history to accomplish such a feat. Due to his high IQ, length, and quick feet and athleticism, Herb Jones is very versatile as a defender that'll put your favorite player in Alcatraz. And just as importantly, his defense actually leads to opportunities for this team offensively. Another player who has been instrumental to the Pelicans' success has surprisingly been Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is a player that many somewhat gave up on because even though the talent was undeniable, he fell out of the rotation at different points over the past 2 seasons, and people rightfully questioned his potential fit with Zion Williamson. But since being moved to full-time power forward, Hayes has averaged 12 points and 5 rebounds on 70% from the field since February, and has actually been a factor defensively despite the positional change. Being placed next to Valanciunas in the front court, the Pelicans have more length and athleticism on the floor, and Hayes has actually shown competence to guard players at the perimeter. Jose Alvarado is another player who embodies the hungriness of this Pelicans team on the defensive end. Against all odds, Jose's story as an undrafted, undersized guard to having a multi-year deal in the NBA is something to be celebrated. And while his stats won't pop out to the average viewer, his relentless hustle, energy, and famous backcourt steals make him to be a productive piece for this Pelicans bench. However, where would the Pelicans be without their star tandem of Mccollum and Brandon Ingram? Even though it wasn't Ingram's most efficient season, his further evolution as a playmaker, defender, and leader makes 2022 a very special season for him. Offensively, he's ultra versatile and definitely one of the better scorers that we have on the wings. He has great awareness and is more than willing to create for his teammates when on the ball, His improved handle and footwork make him to be very difficult to contain, and despite his slight build, he's fearless at attacking the rim. Not to mention that he's more than capable as a mid-range shooter, shooting 7 attempts a game in that area, and shooting a similar percentage to guys like Devin Booker and DeMar DeRozan, and is genuinely a much better three-point shooter than his three-point percentage might suggest. Last but certainly not least, we have CJ McCollum, who's been an invaluable addition to this Pelicans team, both as a combo guard scoring threat and playmaker, and as a leader. Combined with Coach Willie Green's relentlessness in coaching toughness and resilience into this team, on top of the contributions of Jonas Valanciunas and others, the Pelicans have morphed into a bright team that many envision them to be. And since they made the playoffs without Zion even playing a single minute this season, you have to question why Zion of all people would even want to leave this situation. Sure, there were disagreements with the medical staff and his camp when it came to his rehab, but you can't argue that this team isn't built well to give Zion a great chance to win in the future. With that being said, comment down below your favorite part of this Pelicans turnaround and how bright you think the Pelicans' future actually is. And also, comment down below whether Zion should even consider leaving the Pelicans in the future. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a like to support the channel. I hope to see you all in the next one, and stay tuned.